What's up, everybody? It's the movie guy. Okay, this might go to the full 10-minute review. I got a lot to talk about this movie. So, anyway, the other day, I was with my girlfriend and I mentioned something about Obsession. I'm like, you gotta see Obsession with me. The Blu ray comes out July 14th, and my birthday's July 21st. So I was like, we're gonna spend the day together on my birthday, and I'm like, we've got to watch this. We got to watch this. And we both love horror movies. It's our favorite genres. And she's like, have you seen Whistle? And I was thinking, why does that not seem familiar? I was like, is this some Tubi movie or something? I said, no, I've never seen it. And then tonight, I was thinking, well, I'm going to watch a movie. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll look online and find that movie my girlfriend was talking about the other day. And I was like, oh, I remember it now because I remember the poster being up at work, at the theater I work at. It was by the podium, and I was like, oh man, just from the poster, it looked crazy. And I think it got a limited run because we didn't get it. I think it just went to AMC, so we never got the movie. And so this was directed by Corin Hardy, who directed The Nun, which I love that universe of The Conjuring. So I love the Nun movies, and the main character of Chris, I kept looking at her and I'm like, why does she look familiar? And I was like, oh my god, it's Daphne King who played X-23 in Logan and Wolverine and Deadpool. And I will say, like I said, spoilers. So something about like a Mayan death whistle, and it finds you. You don't find it. So there's a point in the beginning of the movie where I guess the guy, the jock basketball player, blew the whistle and death came after him. And it had an interesting concept how, like, you die how you're supposed to die in real life. Like, the kid was 17. Um, he caught on fire. So I don't know when that happens, but, death will take you out the way you're supposed to die down the road. 5 years from now, tomorrow, 50 years from now. And I was like, oh, that's kind of an interesting concept. So there was another group of kids that actually found the whistle, and they're at a pool party, and obviously, what is going to happen? The one girl blew the whistle, and everybody that's in the same area is infected. Is basically death's going to come after you. So there, it was just like, oh my gosh. And I will say that the death scenes were insane. Gore, man. Like, I'm not gonna go and talk about all the death scenes, but the one that really stood out with me was the black guy. He was drinking. He drinks a lot in this movie, and death came for him. And he's in his room, and he's like shoving his dresser up against the door because he sees a hand and stuff. He knows that death is coming for him. So he just death's behind him, and he basically you see him just kind of fly up in the air, and then all of a sudden his body parts are starting to crack and stuff, and his glass is hitting his face. So it's like death is taking him out because he dies in a car accident, and that's how death is taking him out right there. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like holy crap. So there's this one lady who collects artifacts. So she's gone all throughout the world and stuff and collect different artifacts, and she talks about the whistle and what to do to stop death and all this stuff and everything. So there's that also one point towards the end where Chris, Daphne King's character, where her brother is going to mark this like other character, which this other characters gave, the other characters trouble. If he would have marked him, her brother, Daphne King's brother, would have been okay. So if you mark the other person with blood, then it's like, you're safe. But, you know, there's a point where he's in like an empty warehouse and stuff, and he got the whistle pointed at him. He cuts his hand, and he's about ready to go up and touch his chest to, you know, so that he'll be infected and stuff. But then his sister, Chris, is yelling at him, and the other girl that goes to high school with him. And oh man, the way her brother gets taken out. Oh my gosh, holy crap. Like, oh man, it's so blood just poured out and everything. It was crazy. It is so insane. Um there's a point where Daphne King and her friend love interest. So basically her friend is gonna stop Daphne King's heart. So injects her, puts her in a tub. She passes out, puts her in a tub of ice, and she goes into this like trance, like and her evil death is right there, her evil self and stuff and everything. And I was watching this, and I was like, oh my god, this is like basically Smile 2 all over it when the doctor was trying to stop Sky Riley's heart to stop death. He was going to inject her, and then he was going to use the AED machine to bring her back and stuff and everything. I was like, oh man, this is the same concept. At least this time it worked. Unlike Sky Riley's character, and so there's a point too where, yeah, there's a point too where the guy that her brother had tied up and stuff, and he's coming after him, and then there's this blood on the ground, so he picks up the blood, and he's big into like church and stuff and everything, and so you see like her friend's death character disappear, and then like his death character, how he's supposed to be taken out, appears, and it's like, oh my gosh, so he basically took the blood and infected himself, you know. But oh my god, the after credit scene is like you think it was a happy-go-lucky, Daphne King and the love interest, the other girl survived. They're back in high school, and this other girl goes to her locker and finds the case that has the whistle in it, and then they're in this like all these kids are in this auditorium, and they're going like the one girl's going to play her violin or whatever. Instead of playing the violin, she blows the whistle, and the other two girls are like, "No, no, no, no! Don't blow the whistle!" And it blows the whistle, and all the kids like are holding their ears because it's like a screeching sound. So it's basically starting all over, and it felt like Smile 2 also. Just like with Sky Riley when she takes herself out, everybody in the concert is watching her. So everybody's infected. Just like in Whistle where the one girl blows the whistle, and now everybody in the whole auditorium is infected. So I feel like Smile 3, and if Whistle 2 comes out, it's going to be like a Purge style horror movie. So it had a budget of $2 million and it grossed 4.9 million. So it was a minor success. I will have to say, real quick, this was an 8 out of 10. This was great. I had fun with this movie. I didn't really attach myself with too many of the characters except for Daphne King's character and her brother. It was gory. It was like a surprise hit for me, kind of like how Obsession was like a super surprise hit. I hope they do a sequel to Whistle, but definitely thumbs up from the movie guy. It was pretty insane and had a really cool concept. So anyway, I gotta be getting some sleep. Anyway, have a great night, everybody. I'll talk to you later.